On our wedding night, everything felt like a dream. The music had faded, the guests were gone, and we were alone for the first time as husband and husband. He held me close, kissed my forehead, and whispered softly, "You are the perfect man." My heart swelled with joy. I thought I had found someone who truly saw me for who I was, someone who would cherish me forever. For months leading up to that day, he had painted a picture of devotion. Every word, every gesture had convinced me that his love was pure. We built castles of promises, spoke of futures filled with travel, family, and shared dreams. That night, when he called me perfect, it felt like the seal on everything we had built. But I did not know that perfection in his eyes was nothing more than a mask for something darker. At first, married life seemed beautiful. He smiled at me every morning, cooked for me on weekends, and left little notes hidden in my bag. To everyone, we looked like a couple deeply in love. I was blind to the cracks, blind to the strange glances, the sudden excuses, the late nights at work that piled one after another. It was his phone that betrayed him first. I never liked to snoop, but one night while he was in the shower, a message flashed across the screen. The words cut deeper than any knife. "I miss your touch already. Last night was unforgettable." My hands trembled as I read, realizing the message wasn't from me. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. He looked me straight in the eye, and with a coldness I had never seen before, he said, "You're perfect, yes, but not enough." Those words shattered me. The same lips that once whispered love now confessed betrayal without guilt. I realized in that moment that his praise on our wedding night had never been love. It had been pity, perhaps even manipulation. The days that followed were suffocating. He insisted that what we had was still real, that his affairs were nothing more than distractions. He wanted me to stay, to remain his steady anchor while he chased pleasures in the shadows. It was not love he sought, it was control. I tried to forgive him once. Against my better judgment, I thought maybe love could heal him, maybe loyalty could bring him back. But betrayal is a poison, and once it seeps in, it spreads. I caught him again, and then again, each time with a new excuse, a new apology that sounded emptier than the last. The man who had called me perfect was now the same man who destroyed every ounce of self-worth I had. I started to wonder if he ever loved me at all, or if I had been nothing more than a convenient image for him, a trophy husband to parade in public while he lived another life behind closed doors. I remember sitting in our bedroom one night, staring at the wedding photo on the wall. His smile looked so genuine, mine so full of hope. But all I could hear in my head were those words, "You are the perfect man." They haunted me, not as love, but as mockery. I knew then that staying with him would only bury me deeper in misery. So I gathered my strength, packed my bags, and left. He begged, he threatened, he tried to lure me back with promises he would never keep. But my heart had hardened. I could no longer be the fool who clung to illusions. In the weeks that followed, I rebuilt myself piece by piece. I surrounded myself with friends who reminded me of my worth, who reminded me that betrayal says more about the betrayer than the betrayed. I found strength I never knew I had, and slowly, the wounds began to close. One evening, I received a message from him. He wrote, "I lost the perfect man, and I'll never forgive myself." For a moment, I almost pitied him. But then I realized, his greatest betrayal was not just cheating. It was making me believe that perfection in his eyes had value, when in truth, it never did. I never responded to that message. I deleted it, blocked his number, and walked away for good. Some doors must remain closed, not for revenge, but for peace. Now, when I look back on that wedding night, I no longer hear his whisper as a curse. Instead, I see it as the beginning of my awakening. His betrayal taught me that love is not about being perfect for someone else. It's about finding someone who loves you even in your imperfections. And so, his words no longer haunt me. They remind me of a chapter 1 closed, a story of betrayal I survived. He may have whispered that I was the perfect man, but in the end, I proved something greater. I was strong enough to walk away, and that was my true perfection.